Что-то все как-то взяло и рухнуло.
Обидно.
В смысле, у тебя стрим упал?
Нет, скайп упал.
Подорожник, там, изоленту, скотч.
Это очень поможет, я думаю.
Скайпу, думаю, да.
Скайпу уж точно.
Этот парень, да, не может без изоленты работать. Ну что там в дворфах? Как XCOM? А, ты запустил еще?
Нет, ладно, одну песню я точно пущу.
Зачем? Сам же сказал.
Если гномы живут в горах, значит они горцы. Все ворота закрыты, валим. Все государь малин, кроме заднего прохода. Запомни, это не задний проход, это восточные ворота. Стоит, как красиво, вай-вай-вай. Если хочешь мне помочь, отойди, не мешай. Вообще-то в этой песне куплетов чуть больше, чем до хрена. Поэтому эта версия будет обрезанная. Вот тут обрезанная. Вот тут. Да что ты все время вертишься? Вот так.
А, он неправильно пишет, да, бывает так.
И вдруг нежданно-негаданно мы тихонечко сейчас пойдем посмотрим, что из себя представляет дворфы. И кто-то отключился.
Ты.
Я?
Ну, я запутался. Ласка. Рома, который Аня теперь, она как бы выключилась от Ани, которая теперь Рома.
Зашибись, у меня почему-то все еще идет.
Мы об этом не узнаем.
А это странно. М.
Да? Разгружаешь порог, перемещая камеру, используя среднюю. Так, сейчас продолжим, секунду.
Да.
Угу.
У меня шел звонок сразу в 2 конфы.
Щелкните значки атаку в прыжке во время путешествия на коне или нажмите на Е. Что я делаю? Так, видимо, из скайпа отвалился я. Грустненько. Значит, без скайпа. Так, что делать? Нажать, жарю. Вы что-нибудь объяснили с места в карьер? Ясно, кого мы можем юзать за синие поинты, которые у нас. Атака происходит автоматически. Отпустите меня, господи. Так, базик закончился. Как только на экране появится значок использовать. Выпустите. Выпустите.
I'd be happy to pass on this.
10 гранат. Ути, какая прелесть. Какая прелесть, еще одна. Только мне не нравится, что нас как-то... Наши же гранаты нас как-то оттесняют. А они дамажат всех. Пока тактики особо не замечу. Сюда кинем, везде кинем.
My king! What are you doing here?
Giselbert I, the father of the Fifthling clan, has not been on the front line of battle against the creatures of Tion for many cycles. The king surveys the battlefield and the defenders with a grave expression.
We are too few.
This you know as well as he does. But there will be no reinforcements arriving. Hundreds of brave warriors lie inside the fortress dying. The illness is running rampant. It brings weakness and death.
Stay at your posts. Be as steadfast as the granite of which we are made. Nothing can break us. Vrakas is with us.
Чтобы выбрать программирующего, часть экрана или нажмите на клавишу Tab. Щелкните по нему, нажав камеру против Так, в режиме паузы пробел. Можно дать приказ радийским героям, а не выполнят их сразу одновременно. Только вернуть сюда.
Charge! Come here and die!
Stay there.
What is it?
Что можно? Можно сделать прыжок, прям где-нибудь вот сюда. Вторым не шагом. Я все. Зарядился. Если навести написано, будет вот, написано. Волк равно ударяет молодо. Слишком поблизости. Ну, в принципе, вот так. Я должен быть это хит. И сделать. Так, теперь больше. Что парень? Ты прыгнул сюда. Так, можно выкинуть за борт. И прыгай. Ой, я своего не помню. Так, если friendly fire тут имеется. Парни, кыш отсюда. Кыш отсюда. Тесни парней. Так, я своих выкину. Надо немного поднять. Слабенько. Давай еще раз похилим. А ты сигани куда-нибудь вот сюда. Нет, пока игра тут. Я скинул. Ушел отсюда. Теперь еще вот сюда сходим. Упс. Косячка. Так, нам надо сюда. Сможешь дойти сюда? Да, он смог дойти сюда, и теперь мы можем сделать пальщий удар. Да пока ничего. Просто полетел. Так, иди к сюда. Так, пятку и выкинем его сейчас на руку. Ага, бьет слева. Жаль, не бьет справа налево. Надо дойти до катапульта. Вопросов. Идем к катапульту. Свои получим. Чуть-чуть можно. Надо дойти до катапульта. Как не сейчас. Как не сейчас-то, наверное. Оступись, дай пройти. Дайте пройти. Пустите катапультию. Нет, не пробежимся и не растолкаем. Мы
These are the ones who attacked us in the tunnels. We suffered great losses beating them back.
Come here and I'll split you like a straw, you treacherous elf!
In his fury, the old king radiates a ferocious power that none of Citalia's children could withstand. But the slight, willowy being sitting astride the
Какой
shadow
милохин.
mare just grins down mockingly.
You are mistaken. We are Alpha. We are here to destroy the elves.
All peace-loving beings here in Girdlegard are under our protection, and you cannot open the gate that has barred your path into Girdlegard since the creation of the world.
Not us, but perhaps one of your kind.
This cannot be. Silence, you fool! Vrakas, forgive me for what I am about to do.
Quickly, in formation! You must hold them back until I close the gate!
Да, самое главное. А, это максимум приближения. Давай в толпу. Активирована одна из методик. Окей, это будет долго. Так, давайте мы их просто скинем. Нет, не скинем. Эх, сейчас бы махнуть его молотком, может, половину просто выкинуть. А еще гранат можно. Скиньте гранат сверху. Харди. Ох, чуть сам не улетел. Вставай. Вставай. Вставай, парень. Вот дашь ты сиканул-то, ёкарный бабой. Вот это замечательно просто. Да, подтвердите, ладно. Вот это просто наэпичнейший фейл. Больше так не делать. Это самый наэпичнейший фейл. Мне похилиться ремонт. Кажется, король отъехал. Оу.
Look at me. I am Syntheras, the reaper of your death. I will take your life, and the land will take your soul.
Get out of my sight, pointy ears, and let me delight at the closed gate a little longer.
The gate may have closed, but when you rise again from the dead by the power of the land, you will be one of us, and you will open it.
Never! My soul belongs to Rakas.
No, your soul now belongs to the land, and henceforth you will belong to it forever. Now die, and return. Then hand us Girdlegard.
You're a perfectionist, Tungdale Bolafar.
I've got a reputation to uphold. If you can't rely on the metalwork of a dwarf, what can you rely on? You look dreadful.
What a charmer.
The maid gives you an ironic, reprimanding scowl.
Ikana has been crying half the night.
When you were teething, I carried you around the vaults. You played with my beard and I sang you to sleep.
Frala smiles. She's heard this story many times before.
That was 23 cycles ago. I'm quite sure you didn't sing. You might have grumbled a bit.
If what you've read about the dwarven lifespan is true, it'll be another 300 sun cycles and more before you are called to the Eternal Forge. The certainty of one day having to witness Frala's death already burdens your heart.
What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. It's Lot Yonan. He wants to see you in his study.
In your mind, you go through all the recent incidents that might have annoyed the Magus. Apart from a few little squabbles with his famuli, nothing worth mentioning happened since the incident with your beard. You nod.
Okay. I'd better not keep the Magus waiting.
See you later. There's goulash for dinner.
Какая прелесть.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood.
Так, что еще можно?
This is where you swung the forge hammer for the first time 30 cycles ago. No one taught you the craft. It was enough for you to watch Lot Yonan's old smith at work. Whenever the workshop was empty, you practiced and quickly mastered the craft with ease.
Кожаная одежда. Окей. Зачем женщинам борода? Топорик. Что у нас тут есть еще?
Everything you know about dwarves you learned from books. The divine smith created the dwarves, and from time to time you make him an offering of some crumbs of gold. It's the most valuable thing you have to offer Vrakas. You've worked a bit more on Sunya's birthday present last night. The little one is crazy about horses. You, on the other hand, prefer to keep your distance unless you're fitting them with hooves. Too many legs and way too big.
Так, все, больше тут ничего нельзя поездить. Нет, ну выглядит игра довольно приятно. Да и геймплей тоже довольно неплох. И да, ладно, не обманули, тактическая составляющая в ней имеется. У дворфийских женщин не должно быть бород.
Dwarves who have never seen the sky. And you too feel more comfortable when you have rock over your head. If only you didn't long to see more of the world, a longing that grows stronger with every year.
Hey, groundling!
Come to the kitchen, we need you.
Jolison, a 4th degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance and disappears without waiting for your reply.
Какая прелесть. Ага, я куда-то вошел. Окей. О, мультик.
Master Lot Yonan, Frala told me you wished to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Black Saddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure. Perhaps I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps. But don't hold out too much hope. And be careful who you talk to. Not everyone out there likes dwarves.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The long-noses threatened to throw you into the nearest river.
What's in the bag?
Magical devices. You better leave the bag closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Rakus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Vrakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
Ох, что-то подсказывает, сумка не доедет. Так, а карта тут есть? Лестница.
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with laboratories, a library, and private rooms for the famuli. Together with the forge, the kitchen, and the other utility rooms, it makes up quite an impressive complex. But compared to the courts of the other magi, the seat of power in Yonandar is small and modest.
Да, надо еще зайти на кухню.
Tungdil! Quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting and the cauldron stuck in the fireplace. It's a heavy load and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty, dare do anything. They might burn their fingers, or even get a bit dirty.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this.
На, подержи.
With as much concern in your voice as you can muster, you say,
Oh, no, this doesn't look good.
You're pleased to notice he's dripping with sweat.
I'll get you back for this, groundling! Do you remember when you dyed my beard with some magic spell? I had to shave it off.
You stroke your beard, which is unusually short for a dwarf.
Damn it! Ah, it's heavy!
The young human forces through his pursed lips, letting the pot sink a little.
Don't you dare ruin my goulash, boy!
The cook with beefy forearms glares at the young man, and after a brief moment, he tries harder.
You damned freak!
For a moment, you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
Какая милая игра.
The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering. Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to handle her heavy wooden spoon, and that she may possibly have eyes in the back of her head.
Нет, ну как минимум мне уже нравится то, что здесь идет еще и повествование отдельно о всем происходящем.
Hello, Frala.
Hmm?
I've got a present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewellery in Girdlegard.
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said. But you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
I need provisions for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear.
Вот тебе амулет, дай мне
Finally,
еды.
you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in the Magus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a tricky subject that you can't help but broach.
There aren't dwarves down here. You're the only one in Idaslane, as far as we know.
I know, but I can't just have been born out of a rock. Somewhere in the mountains, I have a clan. Maybe even a family.
Yes. Maybe.
Frala has reminded you more than once that Lot Yonan wrote to the dwarf clans and none of them were missing a dwarf boy.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
I wish you the blessing of Palandial and Vracus to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to be the best beer in Idaslane. It's certainly your favourite beer, but you haven't drunk enough other beers to truly know.
Посмотреть на колыбель. Окей.
I am your godfather, little one. I'll look after you just like I looked after your mother.
Little Akana grasps your calloused finger and smiles at you wide-eyed.
Так, окей, куда нам? Наверное, сюда, наверх? Я вижу свет! С вами поговорить можно? Нет? Ну ладно. Не, ну нормально, нам дали еды так, чтобы хватило на первое время.
How nice to see you again, Lot Yonan. It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No. I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
Какой милаха. Какой милаха. Просто вот.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak.
Так, вот мы и добрались до глобальной карты. И она ни хрена не маленькая. Японский магнитофон. Она огромна. Она просто, блин, огромна. Ага, квест тут что такое? Черное ярмо, то есть нам сюда. Так, и передвижение у нас состоит по точкам. И, видимо, открываться в дальнейшем они будут по мере продвижения. Гипотетически. Ну ладно, пойдем к следующему.
You reach a small lake by a birchwood. Your feet hurt and your eyes still sting in the unaccustomed sunlight. But a smile spreads across your face nonetheless. You've covered a decent distance. You pitch your camp and lie down to sleep on the hard forest floor. When you awake in the morning, your legs are stiff and achy. Trying not to feel sorry for yourself, you throw your rucksack over your shoulder. You're a dwarf, and dwarves don't complain.
На самом деле, хоть бы описывали, куда мы идем. В горы, в равнины, еще куда-то. Это что за кнопка? Открыть журнал. Это журнал заданий. Это что? Персонажи. И что мы имеем? Ударить топориком. Так, пассивная способность. Если здоровье падает ниже 30%, он получает бонус за бронирование. Окей. 16 провизии, 210 монет, шарфик и магические артефакты. Хреново туча магических артефактов. Что делает маркист? Министр здравоохранения Бельгии. Возможно, проплатил свое лицо в игре. Так, куда пойти? Ну, давайте пойдем прямо. И ничего пока не меняется. Давайте в горы.
Around midday, with the sun high in the sky and the first beads of sweat appearing on your forehead, you see something move next to the road, a few hundred meters ahead. Some crows are pecking at something in the long grass.
Что мы будем делать? Подождать идти в надежде обнаружить что-то еще, уйти с дороги. Давайте
You survey
посмотрим
the
все вокруг.
grass, the bushes and the few trees that are growing on both sides of the track. The wind blows through the grass and the leaves tremble. The pecking of the birds is only interrupted by the occasional fluttering of their wings. Apart from that, you see nothing.
Ну давайте
The
подкрадемся к
creaking
форуму.
leather armor, the clattering rucksack, and a dwarf's inability to be quiet makes the crows flap around as you move from one bush to another. You give up trying to be stealthy, stand up straight, and see two human bodies in the flattened grass.
И, видимо, сейчас будет что-то уже более динамичное и интересное. Ну таки.
A slender man lies in front of you, dressed in an expensive robe. It is in the colors of Turgur the Fair-Faced, one of the 6 magi. The dead man must be one of Turgur's famuli. You don't see any wounds.
Мне что-нибудь еще даст? О, можно его пощупать?
By Vracus.
There are some narrow stab wounds in the man's chest. The cuts are too big to have been made by arrows, but too small for sword wounds.
То есть все, да? Осмотрели.
You don't see any signs of a struggle in the area where the corpses are lying. Were they stabbed by a companion? A stranger could hardly have crept up on them with such sparse cover.
Кусты? Да я прям Шерлок Холмс.
Nothing.
Что еще можно смотреть? Еще кусты.
Nothing again.
You halt. There is something.
A rucksack? Did someone hide it in the bushes, or was it thrown in there?
You open the rucksack and recognize that someone has already rummaged through it. As well as some implements and writing utensils, you find a pouch full of gold and a talisman. The gold is proof that this is not a case of robbery. Warmth and a feeling of security flush through your body as you touch the talisman. You feel safer just holding it in your hand.
I'm taking you with me.
Ну и золото тоже заберем, читерец. Так, что здесь еще можно помацать? Там еще труп. И еще
You
труп.
look down on a tall, broadly built man. He's wearing dark brown leather armor that is strengthened with iron plates. There's a sword lying next to him. Was he trying to defend
Кажется, я
himself
себе
against
сейчас наберу
something
вещей.
or someone?
На
There is
продажу.
no blood on the sword.
Давай, перевернем его.
The man has the same incisions. It's clear that both men were killed by the same weapon. But what that weapon might be, you cannot see.
А, все, 25 XP ничего нельзя, ну а как же меч хотя бы взять?
A rucksack that probably belonged to one of the dead. It seems to have been searched and then thrown away carelessly.
Естественно, обыщем.
You find a few implements, some provisions, and a map. A route is drawn on it from Parista, Nudin's capital, to Lot-Yonan's vaults.
Does this mean that Turgur the Fair-Faced is in Parista and wanted to send Lot-Yonan a message? And if so, why didn't he use magic? Did he want to contact him without anyone noticing? Why all this secrecy?
Так, что еще? Все? Ни денег, ничего, только карта. Грустненько. Больше здесь ничего нельзя помацать.
You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
Ну, я все улики обыскал, в принципе. Хранить тела и продолжить путешествие. Да, мы их похороним. Не оставлять же их гнить здесь.
It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shallow graves in the ground with a stick and covering the corpses with a few stones. But it should at least keep the crows from their feasting for a while. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between you and your grisly find before night falls.
Ну, то есть, получается, мы гуляем по карте, и нам будут, в принципе, открываться только небольшие локации. Но я надеялся немножко на большее. Ну, в принципе, это только начало, посмотрим, что будет дальше. Нам надо в город, так? Так, можно в город, можно прям сразу в
You
город.
see a flickering light through the trees some way from the path. It might come from a campfire.
Под просто ближе заняться, кто развел кустар.
You
Подкрасться.
creep through the undergrowth towards the fire, but can't prevent your armor from clattering and small twigs from breaking under every heavy step you take. You curse quietly to yourself, but go on until you can see what's going on. 3 broad-shouldered men with axes sit at a campfire, on which 2 rabbits are sizzling. It's only thanks to the fact that the men are joking loudly with one another and not paying attention to their surroundings that they haven't discovered you yet.
Подкрасться ближе и послушать. Давайте
Once you
будем
reach the
заговорим.
edge of the firelight, you say amicably,
Мне кажется, сейчас будет
Greetings.
махач.
My name is...
The men jump up and grab their axes.
Who's there?
Well, I'll be. Is that a groundling?
The men look you over suspiciously.
Ain't no reason to take up arms. Do you always greet guests with drawn blades?
Давайте
Guard
махач.
your tongue, groundling, when you talk to humans.
The man strengthens his grip on the axe and glares at you with evil yellow eyes.
Опусти оружие,
Put
я тебя
down
убью.
your weapons or I'll be forced to use mine.
You threatening us, groundling?
Now consider this. I am a dwarf with an axe, and I don't use my axe for cutting down trees.
The men are visibly unsettled and lower their axes a little.
I thought so.
You turn your back on the men and walk back to the path confidently. You don't hear any steps behind you, and only once you've put distance between you do you dare look back over your shoulder.
Слабаки.
None of the men have followed you. You sigh with relief. It could have ended up a very painful experience if you'd provoked the men or shown them any weakness.
То есть в большей степени это у нас получается такая диалоговая игра. По крайней мере, на глобальной карте все это подается в виде какой-то истории. Давайте сюда пойдем. О, там кто-то еще едет. Гном-торговец. Эй!
You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack.
Если с воротами смотреть... Давайте
The
к воротам.
guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude that the men depend on the protection the armor offers and aren't just wearing them to look good. They're certainly not villagers.
Ей, нас запустили в город. Ну что ж, думаю, перед этим городом мы, в принципе-то, и остановимся. Остальная движуха продолжится завтра. Мы немножко ознакомились с этой игрой, посмотрели, что она из себя представляет. Новое сохранение, да, сохранить. Главное меню. Довольно интересный проект, по крайней мере, в плане сюжета, лора и развития персонажей. Дело. Довольно забавная подача, информативная. Ну... Что ж, завтра будем посмотреть, что оно из себя полноценно представляет и как оно будет крутиться дальше. Ну а на этом мы на сегодня закончим. Завтра ориентировочно, хрен знает во сколько вечером, опять-таки продолжим дворфов. Может в 6, в 7, там, как сложится. Ну а на этом на сегодня все. Спасибо, что пришли. Спасибо, что смотрели. Огромной вам удачи и пока.